Boeing 707. In 1958, Boeing changed the world. They had launched the first successful jet airliner. Crossing the ocean on a propeller-driven plane was long, exhausting, and slow. But Boeing fixed it with their all-new Boeing 707. Pan Am launched the first international transatlantic flight in 1958 on the Boeing 707. The aircraft had a capacity of 180 passengers, could fly 600 miles an hour, and had a range of up to 5,700 nautical miles. Boeing 727. In 1964, Boeing had to design a plane that could land on shorter runways, fly shorter distances, and land at smaller airports. The aircraft had 3 engines mounted on the back, which kept the aircraft clean and meant steeper approaches could be easier. It was quite loud, but it was incredibly useful, and airlines loved it. Over 1,800 units were built. Boeing 737. In 1968, Boeing designed a mid-range narrow-body jet that was cheap and efficient to operate on longer routes. The aircraft was smaller than the 727 and 707. It allowed airlines to expand their network without having to use as much money. As decades passed, the Boeing 737 evolved. It started out with the first generation series in the 1960s, and then the next gen series in the 1990s, and then the 2010s, the MAX series came out. Each series had new engines, better efficiency, improved avionics, and all while keeping the same outline. The Boeing 737 is still in production today and the most used airliner in the world. Boeing 747. In 1970, Boeing had created their biggest jet, built for flying international routes for cheaper. Its hump gave it its most recognizable shape. The plane could carry up to 400 passengers. The aircraft is still in limited service today, but airlines have retired it to use more fuel-efficient jets. Boeing 757. In the late 1970s, oil prices became a major concern due to the oil crisis. So Boeing responded with designing a new fuel-efficient narrow-body jet with the most fuel-efficient engines available at the time and was able to fly very long range. The plane could both operate on long-haul and short-haul routes. The plane had more thrust relative to its weight than any other aircraft at the time, which gave it a very impressive climb rate. Although production ended in 2004, airlines still continued to operate it. Boeing 767. In 1982, Boeing designed a plane that was like the 757, but a little different. The Boeing 757 was a narrow body, but the Boeing 767 was a wide body and can carry more passengers. It was the first Boeing aircraft to be certified for extended range twin-engine operations, or ETOPS for short. This meant the aircraft could fly long distances and fly overseas. Airlines no longer needed quad-engine, fuel-hungry jets. The Boeing 767 could cut transatlantic flight costs in half. The aircraft was produced for decades, and now today, some are being modified into the KC-46 tanker and being used by the U.S. Air Force. Boeing 777. In 1995, Boeing had designed the largest twin-engine jet. The aircraft was built for size, range, and efficiency. The aircraft could carry up to 300 passengers and fly non-stop between almost any 2 cities, and do so with only just 2 engines, something that seemed impossible beforehand. The Boeing 777 was also one of the first aircraft to be designed by using computers. That allowed airlines to involve in the design before ordering the aircraft. That was able to launch feedback before the aircraft was even built. The 777 is the preferred aircraft by airlines for long-haul routes and is still in service today. Boeing 787. In 2011, Boeing changed the game. The Boeing 787 was made out of 50% carbon fiber, which made the aircraft more fuel efficient. Since carbon fiber wasn't as corrosive as aluminum, Boeing could increase the cabin pressure and humidity, which allowed for smoother flights for passengers. The aircraft faced significant problems during the early stages of its service life, but once those problems were resolved, the Boeing 787 became the most ordered wide-body and long-range jet in the world. The aircraft's windows are bigger than ever and use dimming systems instead of shades. The cabin pressure has a relative equivalent to 6,000 feet rather than 8,000 feet on older jets. Be sure to click that like, click subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.